All right, a very fantastic good morning, good afternoon, good evening to OBBO Sports Link Ghana. Everyone so see a transcendent a good day when someone ya bobo no. Jede person on platform we so good news. Eko Ediama Abronte Antoine Semenyo. Jebani Ababi Ruramu. Yet the latest update and some Jacoya something registered in Yano. Jede Babe Somo on platform we so. Jebebo Ramu or Ghana Football Awards on Saturday. And a 18 atoja. Honorable Kofi Idi Adams. Wedi Enkomo Ediafa ho, board member for the Ghana Football Awards, Mr. Felix Romack, ono so de ensamakra anto dwantemesre eni die no opoko asotamu chuku wabra ye de exclusive update no eba besomo all platform we so ensadansa ye bomoden se obe subscribe obe like na be pia share na enkomo no etimi ayekama now yenwamu na ye fa exclusive update no intimi enfama o na yenshen nsem na se enfrefri Abronte Antoine Semenyo akache na Abronte no say open one of the strikers such as clubs ahodo ehwe so basically ni signature Semenyo eka ho na latest update eba no cheso Tottenham for no aye kado se Abronte we senka ebeya onye pene omuna ketem enfri Bournemouth na omepiemu enfama Tottenham na omesane contract no enfama mo na as to say Abronte Semenyo no obetna Bournemouth and as obeko Tottenham no enema akoye something which is there the two parties na per exclusive update eba no chese Daniel Levy ono ankasa atwefon afre Abronte no ne entourage eno modi nkomo yes nyese enkomodi die ekọ so eduru akire no per reporter eba no chese Bournemouth for no still omo kan pay e che Daniel Levy ene ne mrante no anasa ne board no se ebeya omo die sika omo hwe nyina no around 70 million pounds. It is a Tottenham for no any abre se Semenyo no omra no meshe Tottenham jesin kwade a so omo table around 70 million pounds. They say there Daniel Levy yes opening no na so ye hye papa bibibia e che say wo hwe na okeka enima bom na wotimi atebu sa offer no e de ramu e Bournemouth akachiti eno so exclusive one etodwa na ye de emaun now yento so na yengram Ghana Football Awards na Ghana Football Awards on Saturday na airpaso na enra we be catch us delegation area mu ministry na akache any honorable Kofi Idi Adams ekotwetwe nkomo na after say delegation area mu na enkomo twetwe no etimi ekoso no ehwape na honorable ensenakra etodwa mesre yankoni ekotie positive news honorable Kofi Adams eboye edfa Ghana Football Awards ebaso ne ho.
And on the 14th of June, we all will meet at the Grand Arena for these prestigious awards that celebrate our legends and great footballers that we've produced in this country and across Africa. I will be there, and I expect you also to be there. Thank you.
All right, so Honorable Kofi Idi Adams and once all bon komo for Ghana Football Awards on Saturday no na yemonramu na yanti ensama odwa Mr. Felix Romack also edbetu dwa na ninyina for Ghana Football Awards ho medical catch was a footballer of the year no Inaki Williams and Abronte Semenyo then Thomas Tepati and air contest honum na yenkoti ensama odwa Mr. Felix Romack editujwa efa Ghana Football Awards
from the coach of the year to the living legends. I think that it's one category that we introduced 2 seasons ago, and people have really bought into the idea, especially when you live in a country where we feel to honor some of these legends. We don't want to wait for them to pass away before we pay tribute to what they've done in terms of Ghana sports and Ghana football in particular. So for us to introduce such a category to honor them whilst they are still alive, I think that it is one of the most important, categories when it comes to the Ghana Football Awards.
Amazing. And I just want to pick your thought also on the Coach of the Year. I mean, you just look at the names there. They've all been outstanding. You look at Parker Hansen, what he did with Golden Cakes, Division 1 club, in the finals of the MTN FA Cup, going to lock-ons with Kumasi Asante Kotoko for the FA Cup title. You look at Frimpong Manso takes over Abibieni Gold Stars, leads them to their first ever title, Ghana Premier League title, historic. And of course, James Akwesi Appiah, what he's done with the Sudan national team, the war-torn country, has led them to the AFCON, and they are even en route, to the World Cup in pretty decent position at the table. I mean, I'm not sure if you have, what do you call it? Let me just get your thoughts on that, because I was trying to get you to choose who you think deserves it, but your position does not allow you, obviously.
Of course, but I think that if you look at the four coaches, they've had quite an incredible season. Nations FC, had to. I'm sure if not for what happened in Only Stars, they could have also been league champions. But kudos to BBNE Gold Stars for Frimpong Manso. He had some difficult times at Kumasi, Asante Kotoko, and then Bofakwa, but then he's finding a lot of joy at BBNE and has led them to their first league title since they got promoted 3 seasons ago. Quite a very good achievement. And then you talk about the MTN FA Cup. They say it's Obia and Obia League, but you look at what Golden Cakes have done this season, quite remarkable. I don't remember the last time I saw a very decent run by a first division club. So kudos to Parker Hansen. What is that?
I mean, and just to touch on Parker Hansen a bit more, though, he defeated Accra Heart of Folk. He beat Accra Heart of Folk somewhere in the quarterfinals, defeated Accra Heart of Folk, and now in the final looking to beat Kumasi Asante Kotoko. What he's done with the Division 1 club is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. You can continue.
Incredible. And I think that for us at the committee level, it was quite hectic. There were a lot of coaches who have also done quite well, especially if you look at the Division 1, Zone 2, and Zone 3 league. Oho United, they did quite good qualifying, booking a ticket into the Premier League. You can talk same for Straight Row All Blacks as well. So these were 2 decent coaches who were also part of the list that was presented to the board. But for Parker Hansen to get into the slot for Coach of the Year, quite a remarkable season. But then again, then you have Kwesi Appiah. I'm sure a lot of Ghanaians will be like, this is the man who knocked out Ghana, from qualifying for the AFCON. Why is he in there? But it's an award for all Ghanaians working in Ghana, working outside Ghana, working anywhere on the continent or outside the continent. So it's quite a remarkable category, and I feel that anybody in there who gets to win it deserve to win it.
I mean, we are just 2 days away from the event now. As you mentioned, it's going to be live on Joy Prime. What can you share with us as far as the latest, ahead of the event is concerned? Or what have you got as far as latest? Have you been able to get everything in order? Are we ready for the event on Saturday?
We are absolutely ready. The only thing I can say for now is we always know that Nathaniel Atto definitely hosts the show. This time around, we are not putting out who he's hosting the show with. Our normal red carpet start at 7. There is a dress code this year, which is a black tie and an African wear event. We want to look a bit unique. Last year, the 6th edition was one of the best we've organized, and we want to improve on that. So expect a better event than we did last year. This time around, we also want to be on time because it will be on TV. We want to get the red carpet started as early as 7, strictly by invitation. So if you are not invited, you have the opportunity to watch it live on Joy Prime as well. We have some surprise musicians coming on board to entertain us. It won't just be about football, but there's also an entertainment segment at the awards night come Saturday.
And just finally, though, what has been the reception among the nominees? All the local players, the Ghanaian players, home and abroad. What have been the reception among them since they heard that they've been nominated? And should people expect them at the event on Saturday?
Of course. I think that we are getting about 80% of the nominees come board. Those who are not coming, some due to the fact that there are injuries. I spoke to Edmond Beidu. He couldn't come because he was going to the World Club Championship with Salzburg. Jerry Afriye is coming. Christina Ashiaku. These are the nominees that have been nominated for the Atalamte Future Star. Coach Kwesi Appiah would be coming to the event as well. In fact, we are getting almost 80% of the nominees, and that's quite incredible. They are so excited that they have been put into a category to be voted for. It tells you that somebody somewhere appreciate what they are doing at the end of the season. And I also have to say this, the reception from old Blasters players, ex-footballers, the PFAG, the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Yesterday, we went to see the minister. I was so excited about having an initiative like this to reward players at the end of the season. So it makes you feel like if I go into the season and I do well, a committee somewhere or an event somewhere will recognize my effort. So the reception has been quite phenomenal. And I think that we owe Ghanaians an opportunity to give them a very good event on Saturday.
Amazing, really, really amazing. And I know that one of the categories which the public is allowed to vote is the goal of the year, right? The goal of the year. I'm sure the voting is underway for that. Can you give us an idea of how the voting is going so far for the goal of the year?
Well, one thing that I don't know how the results are going, but I don't vote. I'm not a member of the Club 100, but for this particular category, I get to vote because it's open for public voting. We will get to know the winners of the various categories on the day of the event. So for now, I can't tell where it is going, but I would love to see, as a lover of the local league, I would love to see maybe one of the local guys in there win it as a folk fan. I wouldn't mind if Rafael Amponsan go against me. The Emma wins it because I'm a Phobian. But I think we've had some 10 cracking goals up for nomination, and whoever gets to win it, I think, deserve it.
And just finally, though, you were making the point about the fact that we're going to know the winners on Saturday. Can you help us understand which entity is responsible for collating this result? Because we understand that you've contracted a reputable organization to handle that, so that concerns about, result tampering, etc., the fears could be allayed. Can you share a bit with us on
Let me start by saying how the voting process even comes up. So we have the Club 100. It consists of journalists across the country. We have the captains and coaches of the various national teams. We have the 18 Premier League teams, coaches and captains that vote. Frederick Asari, Kumasi Asante Kotoko have voted. Winfred Domo of Dreams FC have voted. Jordan Ayew, the Blasters captain, have voted. Desmond Ofe have voted. Daniel Cranton has voted.
All right, so board member for Ghana Football Awards, Mr. Felix Romack, and I want to say all can so on Saturday, who is who? When winning the best coach of the year, when the Emano, player of the year, when the Emano, Nina, ebetimi atodwa on Saturday to Uremwa, na abusia, wetimi akwakobo wani akohuma, na enema etimi akoye yensia, na yensene shout out no, and for my subscribers, one of the messages I want to epano, yen first messages we, and as a shout out we, Emma Womo, score no GH, ebe shout out to you, James Ajekum, once you a chiao, Gordon Fiati, ebe shout out to you, Original GH, ye chiao papa, Eric Tete, ebe shout out to you, Chikata Esiedu, ye chiao, Evangelist in Kansas TV, ebe shout out to you, Ayarega Elvis Azuma, ebe shout out to you, Kweku Wilson, ebe shout out to Gabriel Apote, ye chiao Dimoten, and Nizam Rose, onso ye chiao Evangelist in Kansas TV, ebe shout out to you, J. Isaac, ye chiao papa, Emmanuel Asante, ebe shout out to Amanda Ofusia, ebe shout out to Haruna Mohammed, ebe shout out to Jockey Jackie, ye chiao papa, Diko Said Musa, ebe shout out to Rufa Abdallah Agaza, ebe shout out to John Akasin, ebe shout out to Sammy K, close to Ofochu Prosper Dotumo, Munyina ye chiamo, Nayak Brown, ebe shout out to Famoba Music, ebe shout out to James Amwa Ampa, ebe shout out to Awa Patience, ebe shout out to Kwame Ousu, ebe shout out to Seven Hawks, ebe shout out to Polas Beat, ebe shout out to Ishak Amedatu, ebe shout out to Kofi Manessa, ebe shout out to Abisi Ayamfa shout out in NC Amedi Ed Kobe. Now bet my friend Kobe finest is Abishia.